Cliffy here from Cliff Dive Into Movies, and this is 10 things that I noticed in Tarzan Finds a Son. Number 1, collars. During the opening montage of the different wild animals that the airplane is seeing in Africa, the very last shot is 2 jaguar cubs. I think they're jaguar cubs, and they have collars on their necks. Number 2, I like this line of dialogue that's actually foreshadowing, but you don't realize that it's foreshadowing when she says it.
Tarzan and I have a high opinion of wild animals and their habits. I haven't often gone against Tarzan's instincts. When I have, I've been wrong.
Number 3, the wildlife. The elephants, I believe, were Asian elephants that they had attached special ears to make them look like African elephants, except that in the final scene when the elephant stampede, some of the elephants don't have the special ear attachment, so they're clearly Asian elephants. And also around Tarzan's house, there's a lot of cockatoos, which are native to Australia. Number 4, the Zambili. Jane tells the search party during the lunch scene that the Zambili are cannibals and that they took Boy's father and the pilot of the plane's body, but left Boy's mother's body there. Later on in the movie, when they come to the Zambili territory, one of the markers is the shrunken body of a full-size person. This is also hinted at earlier in the movie when the warrior that's seen finding the plane has a shrunken head on a necklace tied around his neck. Number 5, Tarzan's Intelligence. A lot of people not familiar with the Johnny Weissmuller movies always think that Tarzan's a little dumb because the number 1 quote is always, "Me Tarzan, you Jane." But in this one, Jane makes comments about how clever Tarzan was because he built the crib for the baby boy, which also implies that he's also built the house and he's built the elevator to go up to the house and all the utensils in the house. And also, there's the scene where he's listening in on the search party's plans to overrun the place in the morning and to take Boy by force, which he clearly understands what they're talking about. The only problem is he lets his emotions get the best of him when he throws their weapons into the water pit, the water well, because now they won't be able to leave, which Jane points out to him. Number 6, Jane's shoes. Tarzan and Jane in the Weissmuller movies always went barefoot. Weissmuller and O'Sullivan would occasionally wear shoes, and you just weren't supposed to notice them. And in this movie, Tarzan goes barefoot. However, in this one, Jane actually wears shoes. They're dark-colored shoes, and they're very noticeable. And in fact, there's a scene where she's laying on bed, and when she gets up, she actually puts her shoes on. Number 7, Jane's dress. At the end of the movie, when Jane, Boy, and the search party are captured by the Zambili, Jane has an idea to send Boy through a hole in the wall to escape. She sends Boy through the wall. She acts as a diversion and gets a spear in her back. Later on, she gets picked up, and when they roll her over, there's no hole in her shirt where the spear was. Number 8, Greystroke. In this movie, it's revealed that Boy is actually Lord Greystroke, not Tarzan as in the original stories. Number 9, Lansing's Insult. When Tarzan and Jane take the search party to their house for lunch, both of the Lansing men have hats on, Sir Thomas and Austin. When they get into the dining room, Sir Thomas takes his hat off and sets it down next to him, which is to be expected. That's normal. But Austin does something completely different. As soon as he sees that Tarzan is going to sit at the head of the table, he throws his hat so it lands there. Boy notices it, and Sir Austin notices it, but Tarzan doesn't pay any attention, and nobody else makes any reference to it. So I don't know if this was just in one take, or if this was like an ad-lib that they just kind of went with and then forgot about. Number 10, the chimpanzee costumes. At the end of the movie, during the elephant stampede, chimpanzees jump on the elephants' backs in order to guide them. And the costumes, obviously they're people, and the costumes don't have hair on the butts, just like real chimpanzees. So either the costumes don't have hair on the butts or somehow there's an opening and that's the performer's actual butt. I don't know. But don't worry, I'm not going to make a close-up of the costume.